to another episode of Cooking with Lauren. And before I get into tonight's recipe, I want to start by highlighting some of the comments that people left on last video. So I'm gonna start first with Nini Siobhan. She said, Lauren, you about to have me wiped up with these cooking skills, child. Well, Nini, I hope you do get wiped up soon, girl. Thank you so much for your comment. And then the next comment I have is from Welcome to the Now. This person said, thank you so much for this recipe. I needed to do something different in the kitchen and this is it. Please do more cooking videos. After that, they said after that Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, I can't remember, I was sold. Yeah, it was actually Thanksgiving and that was a hard task. But thank you guys so much. And then the very last shout out that I want to give is to the cameraman, aka my hubby, because you guys may not see him, but he works really hard to get all of the shots and the angles for the different videos that we make every single week, and sometimes you'll hear him in the video. So shout out to my husband Henry. Thanks, boo.
Thanks, boo.
So okay, so the Super Bowl is on Sunday, and I thought, why not do something so befitting of the Super Bowl? So tonight we are making cheesesteak egg rolls. Y'all, this is going to be so good and so tasty. To all my ladies out there who are making Super Bowl appetizers and getting everything together ready for the game for your husband's friends, this is perfect. It's going to take like 20 minutes to make. It's so simple. And for all my guys out there that are out there cooking their own appetizers for Super Bowl Sunday, this is so easy to make. So let's get started. To go with our crispy, cheesy cheesesteak egg rolls, we're going to need a dipping sauce, and it's so simple. You only need 2 ingredients, ketchup and sriracha. That's it. So it's going to be so good. It's going to be sweet. It's going to be spicy. It's going to be tangy. So we're just going to mix in 2 parts ketchup to 1 part sriracha. And we're just going to give this a mix. And the ketchup is already sweet, so you don't need to add anything additional into it. If you want it a bit more spicy, then you can add like some cayenne pepper, but the sriracha sauce is already spicy in itself. So this sauce is so simple. I'm just going to give it a little taste. And the sriracha has like an intense garlic flavor, and it's a little bit sweet as well. So it complements the ketchup perfectly. I'm actually going to sit this aside. I'm not going to put it in the refrigerator because we don't want it to chill our hot egg rolls. So I'm going to just sit this aside and we'll serve it at room temperature. Guys, so now we're going to move on to our cheesesteak filling, and you just need a few ingredients. So I'm going to use some green pepper. I have a yellow onion here, and then I also have these steakums, y'all. Don't act like y'all ain't never had steakums before. We're using down home steakums today. So I'm gonna first start by dicing up my green peppers and onions. I think like every recipe that I feature on this channel so far has had green peppers in it somehow, some way. But guys, are you guys excited for the Super Bowl? So you know that we just moved to Jersey. We live in South Jersey. So we're like 30 minutes away from Philly, and the Philadelphia Eagles, of course, and the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. And everybody at my job is so excited. The entire city is excited. And I feel like I just can't relate because we're from Baltimore. You know, our team is the Ravens. I think the playoffs were the only Eagles games that we actually watched just to see if they would make it to the Super Bowl. But yeah, I think I'm still going to tune in. I'm still going to root for the Eagles, but it's just not the same because it's not, you know, my home team. So it's kind of bittersweet. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward. Who do you guys think is going to win? I really think the Patriots are going to win. I know everybody doesn't really like the team because they're just so bomb, you know. Sometimes they're down and then you count them out the game and then they come back in the game like nobody's business. I don't even know how they do that. That playoff game was crazy. So I honestly think that they're going to win, but I hope that the Eagles win. But I'm just chopping up these yellow onions now, and they're going to go in our cheesesteak filling. You can add whatever you want. If you like hots in your cheesesteak, add some hots in here. If you like mushrooms, add mushrooms. Add whatever you guys desire. You know, I usually leave it up to y'all to add whatever y'all want. So For now, I'm just gonna pop these in a bowl and we're gonna move over to the stove so that we can get this cheesesteak cooking. As usual, I have a nice hot pan back here and I'm gonna add some olive oil to it, and then we're gonna add those green peppers and onions right to the pan. So we're just gonna let these sweat out a little bit. I still want them to have a bite to them because I still want you to be able to have a distinct flavor and taste when you bite down into the egg roll. So I'm gonna just let these cook for a little bit. It'll probably take about 6 to 7 minutes for them to sweat out, and then we're gonna add in our steakums. Our vegetables are nice and tender now, so I'm gonna go ahead and start adding in our steakum meat. I'm gonna add them in one by one. They're a little bit thawed. That'll be the best way to work with them so that they cook. They already cook pretty quick, but so that they cook more quickly. And of course, just make as many or as little as you need, but however big or small your party is. And you don't need any additional oil because steakums are going to make so much oil, we're actually going to have to drain it. So don't add any additional oil in the pan. Just let it cook with the vegetables. And I'm going to start to just chop this up. That's why I say to cook with them already thawed. So you can really use any meat that you want. Traditionally, a steak is used with like ribeye steak. So if you don't want to use steakums because it is like a little process, you don't have to. You can use regular steak meat. But for an egg roll, you want all the meat to be tender. It may not be as tender if you try to cube up like ribeye steak. You'll have much bigger bites in the egg roll than what you will if you're using like thinly shaved steak. So if you go to the grocery store and buy some meat from your meat department, just make sure you get like some thin shaved steak that's made for sandwiches and stuff of that nature. But yeah, this is already like cooked, so I'm gonna start to add in our seasonings. Doesn't need much seasoning at all. I just am gonna add a little bit of seasonal, some garlic powder, cayenne pepper as well. You guys know I love to cook with cayenne, and pepper. And then we're just gonna go ahead and keep cooking this up and chopping this up. And where there's no more pink left, of course, that's when you know it's ready. Steak meat, it produces a lot of grease, and we definitely don't want all this grease in our egg roll. So I just take a paper towel and I place it in the pan, and I tilt the pan so that the grease can run into that napkin and absorb in the napkin. If you're using like regular real meat, you probably won't have to worry about doing this because it won't be as much grease. I'm going to start adding in my American cheese. Now some people don't really care for American cheese, but we need American cheese in this recipe because it melts so beautifully. It's like milk. Any other cheese that you use, provolone, cheddar, other cheeses like that are going to melt and they're going to be very stringy. And we don't want a stringy cheese for our cheesesteak egg rolls. We want something that's going to melt down and almost create like a sauce in our cheesesteak egg rolls. So that's what I'm doing now, and we're going to see if this is enough or if I need to add some more. Just cover all that cheese with the steak meat. But like I said, if you prefer provolone or if you prefer cheddar, whatever you prefer, go ahead and throw it in there. I just think it's not going to melt down as good enough as you want it. Yeah, I think I can add one more slice. See how the steak is like binding together because that cheese kind of created a sauce? That's exactly what you want. Alright, so I'm going to throw this in a bowl really quick. Let this cool down for a good 15 to 20 minutes. And then we're going to start wrapping up our egg rolls. Our cheesesteak filling is finished. I've let it cool down for a little bit. And now we're going to start wrapping up our egg rolls. These are the egg roll wrappers that I'm using today. You can find egg roll wrappers at your local grocery store. I always happen to find them in the produce section. Like after produce, they're usually right there in that little refrigerated section. So let me show you how to assemble one of these. So we're going to take some of our cheesesteak filling and we're just going to put this in the center. Y'all, I can taste this already. This is about to be so bomb. We're going to put this in the center like so. And then to seal up the egg rolls, all you need is some water, or you can use a little bit of egg. It has like some type of flour substance on the edges that makes it seal up when you put like water on the edges. And then I'm just going to roll. I'm going to fold in the sides, and then I am going to keep rolling until it's done. So there's one egg roll. So I am just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. And by the way, use 2 egg roll. Let me make sure I got 2. Yeah. Use 2 egg roll wrappers at a time, because if you use one, it could come out to be very thin, like a spring roll. And you know, if you guys ever had a spring roll, like the crispy ones, it won't have that thick, chewy texture like a regular egg roll. So make sure you use 2 at a time. And I'm just going to do the same exact thing that I did to the last one. I already got my oil back there heating up. Now it's time for my favorite part. Okay, so I just cut open one of the egg rolls that came out of the piping hot grease. I let it cool down just a little bit, and I'm gonna dip it in our sriracha ketchup sauce. The sauce takes it over the edge. Oh my god. And it's just a little bit spicy. It doesn't have that much spice, but it's sweet and it's savory. Oh my goodness. And that American cheese. Y'all. This is so good. Please make this for your Super Bowl parties this Sunday. It's so quick, it's so easy, and it is so good. It'll be a hit with all your guests. I promise you, they won't stop eating these up. Alright y'all, this is the end of this segment with Cooking with Lauren. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and if you remake this for your Super Bowl party on Sunday, don't forget to tag me on Instagram and use the hashtag CookingWithLauren so that I can see you and repost you on our Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it onto your Facebook pages so that others can see this simple, easy recipe for cheesesteak egg rolls. I'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Peace.